Government. One of the most loveliest things ever invented, possibly by humans, right next to Coca-Cola and Pop-Tarts. Very delicious. Sarcasm, by the way, for those first time seeing my video, I'm very sarcastic. I'll let you know, though, because you gotta be literal with some people. But, anyway, so, government wants to cut spending. Don't we all wish? I was one of those, that's funny type things. They don't want to cut spending. They want to keep spending. Go figure. Now, we the people are screaming, cut spending, no raise taxes, please lower gas prices, for heaven's sake. I mean, we don't want a whole lot unless you're with the groups on Occupy Wall Street that are asking for everything under the sun. I mean, what the hell are they doing? Nothing. Honestly, freedom of speech, they're doing it just swell. But you know what? They can do it in a peaceful demonstration. They could be like the Tea Party. American flags all over the place. No government handout signs going, please, we need this, or we need this, we want this. No, the Tea Party is actually being pretty subtle about it. And guess what? They don't leave a drop of trash anywhere. And to the, I don't want to say government, baby, please government hold our hand, but Wall Street, okay, I'll just call them people that want the government to hold their hand for the rest of their life, because quite honestly, I met a person who thought the Occupy Wall Street thing was such a great idea. If they made a porn site to it, he would be on that porn site every day. But I met a guy like that. He was a complete utter jerk. And I followed through with another person who believed in Occupy Wall Street. Yet again, real jerk. So far, you Occupy Wall Street people are ticking me off. And number 3, I say we should have cops patrol up and down that entire thing. And every time somebody drops a thing of trash, they get a ticket. Littering. Duh. They should be getting tickets anyway. But $10, that city will be making some major money just off of the litter tickets, and the crews that have to clean up after them will be making a lot of money too. But yeah, government does not want to cut spending for some odd reason or another. I mean, quite honestly, get this. Nowadays, so a veteran soldier, or not a veteran soldier, but a soldier retires, his benefits are so much worse than if you ran for Congress for 2 years. So let's say, like how my dad served 21 years, but that was way back. That was 1995 when he retired, so benefits have changed. Now, you can hardly get anything with the veterans benefits nowadays. However, if you served on Congress for 2 years, let's just say 2 years, because that sounds about right, don't it? If you served on Congress, you get retirement for life, great and excellent medical care, especially dentistry, and so on and so forth. You are well looked after if you served in Congress for 2 years. Heaven forbid we look after our veterans who have some literally gave their lives to defend this country, so these, I'm going to say it, dumbass propositions and all this dumbass regulations run by some dumbass people. It's insanity. Quite honestly, If I had a government official walk through my front door right now and ask for $10, I'd tell him to go screw himself. If I had a soldier walk in and say, I need $100, I'd be sitting there going, here you go. Why? Most soldier families out where I live, they did it because their family needed quick money. And the benefits are better than nothing. I mean, last I checked, when you can compare military benefits to McDonald's benefits, it's ridiculous. I mean, there's one way you could cut spending. When you're in Congress and you're having a fun in your 2 years and you decide to retire, guess what? You ain't getting nowhere. The second you go out of retirement, you better find yourself a job. Straight up, because I say we have a vote every year, and not every year, maybe every 1 to 2 years, and with the simple question, did the government earn any money? Or do we need to pay them? Do they need a salary? Did they get a salary this year? 10 to 20 bucks when people start saying no and they miss a month's salary or year's salary, you think they'll get their butts in gear? Because quite honestly, last time I checked, you work for your money. You work for $1. Y'all see where I'm getting onto this? Because literally, it ticks me off to see these veterans come home. Some of them still intact, some of them a little scarred because their best friend just died, or some missing a leg or maybe an arm, some even an eye, nose, whatever, and some who just come back in a box. I mean, how does it feel? I mean, I imagine myself one time. I tried putting myself in the congressman's shoes. I deserve this money. I'm making stuff for I'm making stuff work here. But then I sit there and I imagine, wow, that guy has less than me. His buddy just died in a war, and he's coming home with one leg, crying his eyes out to see his family for the first time in years. Even though it's imagined, I still feel horrible. Anyway, I guess that's just the human in me. But what else? Government regulations to ban guns. I have my boss's brother, who normally shows up to help us with a job or something. He has 2 stickers on the back of his truck. Just 2. And that's it. And they all say a lot. One says, fear the government that fears your gun. Damn straight. The other one says, of course you can trust the American government. Ask an Indian. And before y'all get into that white stole the Indian thing and you're white, so you stole... I have so much freaking... I have German, freaking English, or England. You know where I'm coming from that. Chip chip and all that, chop. That was weird. Native American, and I think French. Can't really quite remember, but I do know I have Native American in me, so that white guilt thing will not work, and most of you playing it need to quit it. Because when you start pulling it, people will just go, whoop, I'm not talking to you anymore. Most people. Other people will sit there and argue back, but don't argue back with somebody who goes, "You stole our land." Like, damn, no, hell no. Get your own life. But yeah, a government that fears your guns. Would you be worried? Because I mean, I'm all for government. Don't get me wrong, but even though I'm all for it, there are still limits. I mean, I want a government who's 100% honest, 24/7, 100% honest. Not this bull crap where they go behind our back on every little thing, and then when it becomes public, it's like, oh, we didn't know. Yeah, right. I mean, I still vote. I still do all that because I want to try to make the system better. But without government, it would just be absolute chaos. Each state would have to help itself. I mean, there's a reason they put state militias and the right to bear arms in the Constitution when they were making our great United States. There's a reason why. Dang wind. Anyway, now I hope y'all can see where I'm going with this, because I mean, plus even that Congress going can even get out of tickets if they're late and they're speeding. I mean, I've seen it done before. Not firsthand, but videos and so on and so forth. Just sitting there, going, wow. The other day I was doing 5 over and I got pulled over. This guy was doing 30 over and he just gets an okay. It's redonkulous. Redonkulous. I mean, who is above the law here? Even cops like to think they're above the law. I mean, I am the law. You are not the law, because one single bullet will bring the law down. Quite honestly, I was visiting one neighborhood once just to find a friend. He was sitting there flipping out, "What are you doing here? What are you doing?" I'm sitting there going, "I just came to visit you, bro." And this douchebag cop came out of nowhere and started and shoved me and was like, "What are you doing here, boy?" And this was a generally black neighborhood. I mean, not to be racist or anything, generally black. And I'm just, I just came to visit my friends, sir. And he's white too, and so he said, "Well, you don't belong here, boy. You need to clear out, boy." And I'm sitting there going, "All right, give me an hour." And he's sitting there, "Yeah, you better." When I was leaving, 2 hours later, I saw the cop sitting there. He got punched in the mouth by a whole bunch of older black people and one white guy. All of a sudden, they're going, "Wow, he must have lived here forever. They accepted him. Look at me, I'm a honky. Jeez." But I just turned my head and drove right off. What else could I do? I mean, he was obviously a jerk. But you know what? Whatever. Whatever. We're not about that. We're talking about government. But when I grew up, my dad always told me on Sunday, if there's a guy in a suit and tie, trust him with your life. Anytime during the weekend there's a guy in a suit and tie, don't trust him. If he's wearing a bow tie, run for hell. I still live by those words today. Last time I saw a guy in a bow tie or tie on the weekend anyway was at a car dealership and he tried screwing me over. Go figure. Sitting there I'm trying to buy myself a new car. And he's sitting there going, "Oh, well, our government regulations, they all meet qualified standards." So I'm sitting there looking over the car. I take one look under, rust. Holy crap. I mean, the second I popped over that, it was like, "Can I see the hood?" He's like, "Why would you want to do that?" "Because I want to see what's in the engine." "I told you what's in the engine." "I don't care. I want to see the engine." Okay. Pops up and the engine's a piece of crap. I turn around and I'm gone. But my time's almost out, so thank you for watching. Remember, a government that controls you is not a good government at all. God bless you. God bless America. And pray for a better day. Oh, and if you've seen my zombie, let me know.